Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the live stream of the finals of the FIDE Women World Team Championship. It's a very exciting day for the Indian team, and I'm very excited myself. In order to make this work, I shifted the laptop, I changed things because I wanted to make sure that there was no lag today. We tried to get the LAN connection working. Team India takes on Russia in the finals, and the game is about to begin. We have Goryachkina taking on Harika on board number 1. Vaishali taking on Alexandra Kosteniuk on board number 2. Um, Lagno takes on Bhakti. Oh, so Tania, the strategy is Tania comes in the second game usually, yeah? Mary and Gomes versus Alina Kashlinskaya. So they have uh, given a break to Shuvalova, it seems, and Kashlinskaya has come here. So that is going to be exciting because Mary and Gomes has been very good overall. So guys, I cannot change things here too much because this is how the board is. It's not my laptop, uh, but I think it's not bad. Yeah. Popcorn leke aao bhai. Yeah, that's the best thing. Guys, board is okay. Board is okay. I think the game should begin in a bit. Prettier leeches I should install, but there were so many things to install beforehand here for this laptop. It's not mine. You see, my laptop is there on the side, but we will have some guests joining in. In fact, we'll have the coach of the Indian team. The main coach is Abhijit Kunte, but also working on the side is Shyam Sundar, who has been helping the team tremendously right from FIDE Olympiad. So he will be joining us today, and would be very interesting to get his thoughts because he has been training the team already, and he'll be able to hear him. Oh, Pranjal Kumar says podcast was very nice. Oh, thank you. Oh, so many moves happened already. Wow. Game has begun. So let's get it rolling. Yes, my podcast with Levi Roseman on Gotham City is out. You can check. I enjoyed speaking with him. D4, D5 by Harika. Harika playing Goryachkina, who has played the World Championship this time. She's very strong, very powerful Russian player. C4, E6. Knight to F3, Knight F6, Knight C3, and Harika plays C6. Guys, what's the name of this system? Can anyone tell me what is the name of this system called? There was no notification from Discord or YouTube. Ooh, that is surprising. Maybe is it because I have it on, or I don't know, maybe because I changed my laptop, but that should not. Yes, it's known as the Semislav. Absolutely. Akshay Mohan, Adit Bansal. Guys, the thing is, if you take on C4 here, it's called the Slav. Like, okay, if you had played C6 instead of E6, and you take here, it's called Slav. This is known as the Queen's Gambit decline, but C6 is the semi-Slav. Matlab, Adha. E3, Knight BD7, Bishop D3. Harika says now the bishop has moved here. So what do you do, guys? When the bishop has already moved, can you tell me the move? Let's see if the chat chess moves works on this. White to move, black to move. What do you play? Yep, it's working. Chat chess moves. Nice. This I set up before the stream because I was like, let people, all of you, think and guess the moves. DC4 is the move. Very correctly pointed out by chess players quote Kritika Jain, Veer Shah, Divyansh, Dauku, Padmesh Joglekar, Krishna Pandit, Piyush, Ankit Khachi, and Tizya Kumar. Brilliant job, guys. You see, here's the small thing that you should know, that if the bishop is on f1 and let's say you take here, so what happens is that he can take it directly without losing a tempo. But when you play knight bd7 and he moves his bishop and then you take it, then he has had to lose a tempo in this move. So that's the reason why it's a good idea to do now, and Harika has played it. Bishop c4, b5 by Harika. We have a super chat here by Anahat Datar. Good luck to Team India. Also, Sagar sir, can you please explain the term elect used after chess title? Couldn't find enough information. Great commentary. Anahat, it's very simple. If someone has achieved all three norms but has not reached the rating. So for example, I need 3 IM norms and 2400 to reach IM title. I need 3 GM norms and 2500 to reach GM title. Suppose I make all my norms but have not reached the rating threshold, I'm called a GM elect or an IM elect. Okay, so bishop d3 back, bishop d6 in the position, queen c2, and Harika has castled here. So that's how the position is for now. It has. Raj Agarwal says, Sagar sir, what do you do with the gain tempo from black side? Generally, Raj, what you do in the opening is when you gain time, you finish your development. So ideally, in this position, what is the problem piece for black? Can anyone tell me? What is the problem? Okay, Ankit Kachi. Okay, I'll remember that. What is the problem piece? Yes, Chris Keynes. Bishop c8, light squared bishop is the problem, correct? Very good. So this is the problem piece. Now, if you are able... Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think we are back. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Guys, sorry, I'm here and the internet is was not up to the mark, and we made some calls and hopefully it will stay intact. So I hope you can hear me well. Okay, now it's fine. Great. Okay, let's do what is in our control. I'm sorry for the internet. It is not in my control right now. Tomorrow, most likely, I'll be going back to Mumbai where things are all set. But going back to Harika's game, we looked till bishop c4, b5, bishop d3, bishop d6, queen c2, castles, knight e4. And I was talking about how if bishop b7, a6 and c5, if these three moves, if black gets it, then black would be doing completely fine. So Goryachkina was like, Harika, I am not going to. Raj Agarwal says, please again explain that c8 bishop thing. Yes, this is what I was saying. If black can get bishop b7, a6 and c5 to unleash the bishop on this diagonal, then you will see all of black pieces are beautifully placed. So Goryachkina, just to give you an example, if she castles bishop b7, bd2, not a good way to play, a6, let's say rook c1, and now c5. So you made many bad moves with white like bd2, rook c1. They look natural, but actually they do not help, right? So when that happens, you land up in a very bad position and with white, and black has all his pieces beautifully placed. So now when you see this, you understand that Goryachkina has to do something quickly, and she does it instantly. She goes knight e4 and says to Harika, look, I'm attacking your bishop, I'm attacking your knight, I'm attacking your pawn. What are you going to do? So Harika says, I will take. But now after bishop takes e4, there is a double attack on h7 and c6. Soham Pandya, thank you for becoming backer of Indian chess. So now, black to play, what do you do? In this position, you have to save this, you have to save this. Can you tell me, what do you do in this position? Guys, we are going to have a lot of fun with this finals. So please focus and enjoy. We will be, the small interruption that we had. It was not small, it was quite long. Now won't happen again. Hopefully, I don't know. I mean, I'm in a new environment, so. Okay, very good, very good. The moves that have been suggested here are knight f6. Very good, guys. I'm very glad that you gave the right pawn up, because it's a double attack, right? c6 and h7 both are hanging. So Harika makes the right choice and she says, I will put my knight on f6 in this position so that my pawn is saved here. Now you can take bishop c6 or queen c6. These are two options at your disposal. Okay, and here the right move had been given by innovative Mangala Kote, Bondita Bhagwati, Saurabh Bisht, Sals the Music Band, Chinmay Mahale, Evil Genius, Divyansh Sindhant and Chiddesh Jain. Well done, guys. So knight f6, and now she could have taken here or here, and Goryachkina decided to take with the queen. If she took with the bishop in this position, there is a very strong move that black has. Can you find it? Black to play. Find the strong move in this position. Not easy, but can you spot it? Oh my god, guys. How come you guys are so good, so quick, so nice, so strong? Well done, chat. The right move has been mentioned by so many of you. Fantastic job by Saurabh Bisht, Jaideep Shetty, Debendra Patnaik, Bad Boys, Monil Maru, Ravi Ralia, Jyotinjay, Chess Players Quotes, AK47 and Bharat Goel. The move is Queen C7. And what you are doing here is you are pinning the bishop to the queen. It cannot move anymore. And next move, you could play bd7 or b7 and get a fine position. So she took with the queen. Now after taking with the queen, she's attacking the rook. So Harika said, I will move my rook to the side and also threaten bishop b7 to hit your queen. She went back bd3. Harika played bishop b7. Of course, white cannot take this. Correct? I don't need to ask you this question, but फिर भी पूछ लेते हैं. Black to play. What do you do here? Black to move. Easiest question. Guys, don't use engines, yeah, for answering. Please try to think on your own. Yes, this is the correct move. Try to think on your own. खुद से सोचो, खुद के दिमाग से सोचोगे तो you would become strong. If you think on your own. Rook attacks the bishop, the queen. It's called discovered attack. You see, when three pieces are in one line, the middle piece moves away and the other pieces attack each other. This is called as discovered attack. Discovered attack here. So she didn't take this. She went queen c2 in the position. Now Harika played rook to e8. Harika clearly in her preparation, and bd2 by Goryachkina. Now Harika has, I think, the first long think of the game. The question is, why did Harika play rook e8? I think somewhere Harika wants to take take and play e5. That would give her compensation. If you play directly e5, then that might just not be good enough. So that's the reason why time control is 45 minutes plus 10 seconds increment, guys. So it's not like classical, and it's not even rapid, like very rapid. It's kind of a long rapid format. Okay, I have one question for you. That what should Harika do here? I'm just going to end it at that. Can Harika play bishop? Can she play e5? It is a possibility. Like take, but then after maybe bishop c3, white is doing quite okay. So this is one way to play e5. Because knight captures bishop is most of the times okay, because if the position is open, the bishop is a better piece than a knight. So I was thinking like take and e5, but there, even there, like take and maybe king e2 as well. This should be interesting actually, because even though you are a pawn down, the king is slightly weak. So I get a feeling that maybe Harika might go for this thing over here, but she is right now thinking in her head, and let's see what she comes up with. bd2 is the move. Shall we move to the second game? Let's look at Vaishali versus Kosteniuk. This position is around even, but it's still a interesting position. Okay, this one is Vaishali versus Kosteniuk. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. Vaishali has many arrows in her quiver. She goes bishop c4 sometimes, bishop b5. She's also played the Scotch, bishop b5, a6, bishop a4, knight to f6, castles, bishop e7, rook e1, b5, bishop b3, castles, a4. Now, if you go c3 here, which is kind of the main move, then you have to contend with d5, which is the martial attack, right? This is known as the martial attack. But a4 was played in this position by Vaishali, and now you can't play d5. That's why it's called the, what's the name of this system if you play a4? Can anyone think? What is it called? Rishang Mehrotra, I am currently in Pune. I think most likely I'll leave tomorrow to Bombay. These are all Amruta and her brother Prathamesh's trophy here in the background. Anti-martial, correct. This is known as the anti-martial. Nasir Sheikh, Vibhanshu Gupta, Satvik Mutnuri. Very good. It's known as the anti-martial. b4 in the position, and now what white did was he played the move. Vaishali played d4. Okay, d6 so that you don't give up the center. D, knight e5. You can also, by the way, take here with the pawn, but she decided to take with the knight. Knight takes, pawn takes, queen to f3. Wow, this is kind of new. You can also take the queens here. You can also keep them with knight d2. But I think queen f3 by Vaishali is not played so often. I think we can check it later in database.chessbase.com. So bishop c5 by Kosteniuk. Now she went h3, so that there are no plans of bishop g4 or knight g4. I was wondering if here, if you play bishop g4, I think Vaishali was ready to meet it with queen g3. So h3 is a prophylaxis. It's a move where you stop your opponent's any ideas of knight g4 and bishop g4. Got it. Bishop e6 was played here, and now she went knight d2. Very logical. If you take, I'll take back with my knight, attacking your bishop. Knight to d7 in the position, and of course you don't want to take here, because after take, the problem is the rook opens up, and along with the bishop there are big problems. So knight d7, and now she played the move a5, which is also cool because these two are like partners of each other, and with the move a5 you throw a spanner in the works. You stop these two pawns from getting together. So a5, queen h4 is the move, and somewhere Kosteniuk is preparing to take on b3 and later open up with f5, when her rook would get really well positioned. So knight f1 by Vaishali. Now bishop takes b3, c takes b3 has been played. The question is if black can take advantage of the slight lead in development that she has. Positionally, white is doing very well because white would like to play bishop e3, exchange, get the knight here or here. It looks good. a6 is weak. The knight can come to c4. These are very good spots for Vaishali. But on the other hand, she's slightly lagging behind in development. So I would say the position is around equal. Prophylaxis, by the way, Ranjit, is not forward thinking. Prophylaxis means stopping opponent's ideas. So cb3. Okay, and this is equal. Let's go to Katrina Lagno versus Bhakti Kulkarni, and let's have a look at their game. Now Bhakti is a very good exponent of the Karo Khan, but she plays a weird kind of Karo Khan. Yeah, she doesn't play like the main lines. Xeclipse says if f5 in the last position, here f5. The problem I thought was I can take on f5 and you can't take back because my queen is protecting it. So that doesn't seem to work. So let's go to Bhakti's game. e4, c6, Karo Khan, d4, d5, knight d2, pawn takes, knight e4, knight f6, and now not bishop f5 is the, I mean the bishop f5 is the main move, but knight f6 is getting very popular. We have seen Gukesh playing it, Nihal Sarin playing it, sometimes even Vidit plays it. So take on f6, and now the main move is to take with the e pawn, which Bhakti did. c3, Katrina Lagno, by the way, 2-time world rapid champion, 1-time world blitz, or is it 2-time world blitz champion, 1-time world rapid? She's very strong player. bd6 puts the bishop out, bishop d3, castles, and queen c2. This is very common. Rook e8 check, knight to e2, and I want you to tell me what should black play in this position. Notice that the pawn here is hanging. So what should black play in this position? It's a nice move. Let me see how many people can spot this. King's Indian defender, I don't like your move f5 here in this position, mainly because okay, it gives a free pawn, but also it limits the, I mean f5 is interesting, but really the most is a nice move here is h5. All those who said h5, let me see how many of you were able to come up with this. F5 is the main move that people are saying. Let's analyze that, because you are saying H5 by Mudit, innovative, Akhil Repale, watch a stop, Shivam Kumar, Dhruv Garg, Atharva Bakhare, Pratham Sachdev, Ritish Giri, and Coel Stewart. This is the move that is, and this is common, you know. If you didn't know this line, your first thought would be, let me play h6 or g6, but h5 tries to soften up the white king with h4 h3. Now if you play f5 here in this position, bishop takes f5, bishop takes f5, queen takes f5, and it seems like white has won a pawn. I know that my knight is pinned, but next move I'm going bishop e3 and going to castle. So f5 doesn't look great. h5 was played, castles by Katrina, h4, h3, knight to d7. Now usually the knight sits on f8 beautifully in these positions. bd2, knight f8, rook a e1, very simple play, bishop c7, and Bhakti is maybe planning some queen d6 ideas to checkmate her opponent on the h2 square. c4, and she goes knight e6, attacking the pawn on d4. Bishop e3 was played here, and now came the move g5. Oh, Bhakti Kulkarni. I think this is a very, very dangerous move by Bhakti, especially because she's undeveloped a bit. You know, her bishop is still not developed, her rook is not developed, and if white gets a successful f4, that will spell trouble for her. So I'm a bit surprised that she went for this. I think g6 was possible, just trying to get the knight to g7 and then bishop f5. That would have been positionally interesting idea, but okay, g5. The first question that comes to my mind is, why not f4? But the problem is that after g takes f4, you are in a situation where whichever piece you take with on f4, your d4 pawn is hanging. So that's the reason why. c5 was played by Katrina. Bishop b8. Arey baapre. Look, oh my god. Bhakti wants to go to c7 to checkmate. Very creative play by Bhakti. Bishop c4, and she goes king g7. So that's supposedly a bad move. Okay, now Bhakti could have gone like queen c7 maybe, but then there is f4, because now the pressure on d4 is gone with the queen moving to c7. So the best move here was knight g7. She went king g7, and Katrina Lagno is thinking here, but I get a feeling that Bhakti is going to get into big trouble here. The reason being that her opponent is going to play queen d2 and f4. If f4 was not coming in this position, then Bhakti would have been fine. But when f4 comes, just to give you an idea, like queen d2 for example, let's say you go, what's a good move here? I don't even see it, but let's say you play a5 just for the sake of argument. Now f4, I take, you take with the knight, knight takes, bishop takes, let's say bishop takes, queen takes over here, and in this position if you see, king is weak, white has beautiful pieces, and this is almost over. So you get my point. अगर ये स्लो है तो फिर ये रुकेगा ना, मतलब ये हैंग होगा. हाँ,
तो उनको बोलो guys, let's check, this is going to be slow then. तब तक स्काइलिंग आ जाएगा ना, पर
नहीं आ रहा है इसमें स्पीड बिल्कुल भी.
जियोमी में रेड है. ये लैपटॉप.
Don't piss me off by giving stupid ideas. इसका राउटर में से लैन केबल डाल के
मैं
करना
वही
है.
बोल रही हूँ, we can try that ना. So do you know where the router is?
इसने सब छुपा के क्यों रखा है इतना, मतलब कुछ दिख ही नहीं रहा.
हाँ, इसके अंदर है क्या राउटर?
second. Maybe we are live already. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone. Are we back? I hope we are back. I'm very sorry because the internet issue was pretty serious here, and Amruta and I were moving from. Yeah. I think we are back. Because Amruta and I were moving from one house to another, like from one floor to another. So sorry, just want to make sure that this works, and somehow the same internet connection is there in both the houses. So if it goes one place, then it goes to the other one as well. But I hope that we are now back here. But Hindi Chess Base India is streaming, guys. So whenever things go away from here, please make sure that you head over there. Niklesh is there and he is streaming. Shall we get cracking? We were looking at a few games. For now, we were looking at Bhakti's game, which was very, very dangerous, and it still is. Still is. Thank you so much, guys, for the hearts, and I hope that I can uh, make it work. Okay. Let's look at Mary and Gomes game versus. Oh my god, Mary and Gomes is striking once again. Guys, I had not seen her game at all. Can we look at her game? Can we look at her game? Okay, so knight f3, d5, g3. Mary likes to play this way. Like this is her favorite opening. c6, bg2, bg4, c4, e6, cd, bishop f3. It's a very normal way to play, because if you want to take back with the pawn, you don't want knight e5 and queen a4 check coming. So you first take it, and then take here. Now the knight will come out on c6, knight f6. So even though white has the bishop pair, black will just simply develop. d3, bg2, bishop c5, knight to c3, castles, a3, a6, Mary goes knight a4, bishop a7, b4, knight d7, bb2, b5, and here Mary went for a nice move, rook c1, hitting the knight, and when opponent defended it, she went to c5. Take on c5. I think taking here with the bishop was better. She took here. Now what has happened is that the bishop is locked on a7. So she went queen e7. Now queen c2. By the way, Alina Kashlinskaya, a very strong player from Russia. She's the wife of a very strong chess player. Do you know who is her husband? I'll also put the points on the board here so that you can see. Yeah. So then you can also. Has anyone said Wojtaszek? Anyone Wojtaszek? Lagno is the wife of Goryachkina. Kashlinskaya is the wife of Radoslav Wojtaszek from Poland. ये ऐसा हो गया. अभी स्कोर यहाँ पे रख देते हैं. So now everything is set, professional, very good. The only problem in today's stream is the internet, and I hope that it doesn't go away. But anyway, we'll enjoy as long as it lasts, and the moment it goes away, guys, please go to Hindi Chess Base India. Then you can, I'm sorry for this, but I deeply apologize for this. Such an important day today. E3, knight b8, d4. Mary's like, you're giving me space, I'm taking it, I have the bishop pair, I will open up the position with e4 at the right moment. Look at your bishop on a7, so bad. And okay, knight c6 back, bishop c3, rook b8, queen d2, queen c7, rook a1. She is going to bring her other rook here and then play a4. Rook b7, rook fb1, queen e7, bishop f1. Such nice maneuvering play, h5. And now it's Mary's move. She has 14 minutes on the clock. Vaishali lost? What? Vaishali lost? Vaishali had a good position. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. How did that happen? We were looking here, no? Queen h4, cb3, she went back, she played bishop e. Bishop e3 was not the best move. We looked till here, and here maybe take, and bishop e3, then knight e4 is there. But bishop g5, and I think white is doing pretty well. But Vaishali, she played bishop e3, take, rook b8. That's not a great move by her opponent, because taking on e3 and then playing knight c5 or rook d8 would have given black a good position, but she went rook b8, rook c1, rook b5, rook d1. So this was good. bd6, knight d2, all fine. Knight c5, knight, she took, okay, great. All right, your opponent has a bishop here, you have a knight here, both are happy, everything is good. f4, typical Vaishali move, getting activity. You can't take the pawn because this is hanging. f6, very solid move. King g2, very good move. g6 also fine. King f3, bringing the king in. Rook f7, rook d2, all building up. f5, now things get very, this is when mistakes can happen. But can't we take fe5? Yeah, that was good. Bishop e5. She played rook d. Oh. Oh. What did Vaishali miss? Oh, Vaishali missed rook f4, rook f5. Rook d5 was not necessary. She could have played rook c d1 and she was fine. But rook d5, and now the thing that she missed is that after take here, check is the point. And maybe she thought king e5 and she's fine. But what did she miss here, guys? What did she miss? This is the point that she missed in her game. No, Savita, the c5 pawn in Mary's game is a weak pawn. No, that's why she played d4 to save it. Yeah, it closes her bishop, but it also closes black's 2-3 pieces. Knight, bishop, everyone. Exactly, guys. Rook f5 was the move. This is what I think she missed. Check and she loses. And she had a lot of time here. She had 7 minutes. Takes, she took here. She came back. Rook d5, knight e5. Now she's got back an exchange because you can't take. King f4 is hanging. But after g5, I think the position is resignable because rook h4 attacks here. You are exchanged down, and I think without any real counterplay. So true, Vaishali's position looks bad for Team India, but to compensate for it, Mary and Gomes' position is very good. But it's not like winning as such. I mean, the engines show it's completely better, but I have my slight doubts here still, because black is trying to create some play. Of course, it's nothing as compared to what white is trying to do on the queen side with his bishop here, with a bishop here, the rooks here, and all of it. So I think Mary has good chance. So let's say these two results kind of balance out, but Bhakti also is in trouble. Yeah, Ayush Jain says always end your calculation with opponent's move. Yeah. So when we left Bhakti's game, we were at g5. She went c5, bishop b8, bishop c4, king g7, queen d2, queen c7, f4. So already her position is very doubtful. She went b6. And now there was a nice move here actually, which is g3 here, which is not an easy move. So that if you take, then I can take, and there is no mate. This g3 move is slightly anti-intuitive. FG, basically it doesn't allow the queen to get in, but also here you can play knight g3 with the idea of knight h5 or knight f5. But when she played b4, knight f8, knight c3, knight g6, d5, g takes f4, d6, this is where she got her chance after d6, and very quickly Bhakti took it, fe3. Maybe here better move was bd4, and white is just crushing the position. You can see how black pieces are all huddled up together poorly in this position. But d6 takes, d takes c7, e takes d2, rook e8, bishop c7, knight e4, good move, bishop f4, trying to uh, save the pawn. But there was no other real great move in the position. Maybe there was b takes c5, b takes c5, rook b8. But if you already look at the position, white is an exchange up and has this dominating rook. The bishop is kind of trapped. Also, knight d6 coming up in the position to attack here. So here, guys, I have a feeling that Bhakti Kulkarni is in big trouble. That means Harika has to strike in order to level the scores. Mary is better. Vaishali is lost. Bhakti is losing. But is Harika having a chance? This is where the pressure mounts, and in fact, even Harika may even lose the position sometimes. But that's because of pressure. Her position is right now equal, but when she looks at the board, she will be like, "Arey, I need to win." b4 was a nice move by her. Rook d1, queen e7, e4, e5, castles, ed4, bishop g5, h6, bishop h4, rook d8, rook f e1, she went queen e6, bishop f6, queen f6, h3, rook e7, bishop c4, bishop e5, and we have reached this position. I think there were some moments when Goryachkina could have played for a win or for better moves than what she did, but right now the situation is such that Harika has a good position. She has dark square control and her bishop is well positioned. Let's hope that Harika is able to maintain this and something uh, goes well for Bhakti, but doesn't look good. Tania may play the next round, that's for sure. I think if generally Bhakti and Tanya are alternating in this event because Vaishali, Mary, and Gomes are in good form. Harup says knight d6, bishop a6 in Bhakti's game. Harup, but bishop knight d6. Bishop a6. That's interesting, but if I take on a6, what? Because rook e8, the knight is defending this. I think you might have to go bishop b7 and then put your bishop on the corner. When you are exchanged down and also your piece is bad. So this should not work. Knight d6 looks like a great move. What about Mary and Gomes? After a4, what did her opponent do? After a4, her opponent played rook b8. She went rook b1. And now Kashlinskaya is thinking. Vaishali draw? No, no, no. Come on. That's not possible. No, no. I don't think. Because rook d5, knight e5, here g5. I don't think Kosteniuk is going to watch up this position. This is no way ending in a draw. You are still an exchange down, four pawns for each side. This is not going to work out. Let's also look at Lagno, Bhakti. Oh, she went Rook D1. Oh man, has Bhakti got a life? If Bhakti gets a life, then India has great chance because Lagno's last move, Rook D1. I don't know why she didn't go Knight D6. Knight D6 looked like a very natural move. I'm very surprised that Lagno didn't do it. Maybe she was afraid of something. Something. Check. No, check. There is a rook here. What was she afraid of to Knight D6? Something like BG4, but there is HG4. No idea. I think she was just Bhakti now has a chance, guys, because Rook D1, it's not a drawn position, and also Bhakti's moves are very difficult to find. But here is her chance. You know how does it work? First you take on C5, okay? Or you play directly BG4. Both are okay. So take on C5, take on C5, play bishop G4. Now what is happening is that the rook is hanging. It's a discovered attack. Remember, every pin has a inherent discovered attack in it if it is not an absolute pin. Every pin, does that make sense? Every pin, this rook is pinning the bishop to this rook, is also a discovered attack setup if it is not an absolute pin. When is it an absolute pin? If the king was here, black king. There's no black king. So now you go bg4, and what will she do? She has to take, otherwise she will lose this. So she will take. Now you go and take this. Now what is the problem is this pawn is about to queen. So you can take on d2, but I'll take bishop d2, and you can't play rook d1, rook d8 because bishop e3 check, and then I save my bishop. That would be great. So she will have to play rook d8. Now I cannot attack this bishop in any way because both the places it will take and stop the pawn from queening, right? It doesn't work. So you go knight e5 attacking this bishop, and the position becomes quite complicated. You have at the right time check and take this. So this position is definitely coming back to life, but Mary and Gomes position, as I told you, it was not easy. Severs, thank you for your super chat. It was not easy because although it looked like completely fine, she took here. Now again, the point is you have to be very accurate. You have to take this, and now once again maybe either take on b7 or play rook a1. It's these moves which are not easy to play. So what Mary did was completely normal and natural. She took, and now her opponent played a3. She took here. I still feel she has good chances. Queen a2. How does her opponent save this? I think she has great chance. Oh, but the problem now starting here is that the opponent doesn't care about the queen side anymore. And queen side, Mary is totally winning the game. She's going to round up this pawn, enter here. Pura, matlab, she's going to get into black's camp. But the problem is that the queen comes to g5, and along with the bishop here, they are going to create so much counterplay. But I was thinking, can we not put our bishop here and protect this structure? However, then the knight would have its say. So let's just make some moves. Take, queen g5. Okay, threat is to give this, take this, and hit that way. I'll play queen a3. If you take here, that looks scary. Yeah, that looks scary. So let me do bishop e1. Let me do bishop e1 where it's safer. But now the problem is that you take, and then this take. And then this knight takes here. And it doesn't work out. Balakrishna, thank you for your super chat. Very kind of you. Meanwhile, the first result has come here. Vaishali has lost her game. That was after her blunder. That was going to happen. That's fine. We have the match is still very much alive. Although the engines are saying that India is in trouble, as you can see, Katrina Lagno is struggling, and Bhakti has played a good move. I think Bhakti's position is complicated enough that any player can blunder. Bhakti has 4 minutes 48 seconds. Lagno has 7 minutes in hand. So Bhakti clearly here. Now let's also look at Mary and Gomes. after queen a2, Alina Kashlinskaya is thinking, and the thing about Mary is that she plays very quickly. Now, how easy or difficult, guys, is it to find queen takes a3, that you will play, then your opponent will take, you will take. How tough is it that in this position you do not take here? Because taking here queen e3 is just very bad for white. And the move that you have to find here is something like queen a4. This is impossible for human beings, right? Because here the bishop is moving behind and giving a disco, but the engines say, what's the problem? Whenever you move your bishop, I will go king f1. So समझ में आ रहा है क्या? This position humanly seems like Kashlinskaya has managed to create enough play. And for Mary, it seems like she might want to go back and block this way. But her main issue is not that the g3 point is only weak. After bishop g3, the e3 point is also weak. So all of that uh, cannot be saved. Let's quickly look at Harika, because you see, although we are Harika's position is shown as equal. Oh, right now it looks her last move wasn't the best. Here maybe she had to go rook e7 back. She went rook c6 pinning here, and Harika is like, look, your bishop can't move. But Goryachkina said, I don't want to move the bishop at all, because my bishop cannot be attacked, and if it will be attacked in some way like this, I'll play b3. So my bishop is pretty safe. What are you doing here? And now the important move is that rook e d2 to attack this pawn on d4. It's a weak pawn. Harika's game, I would say, is quite complicated still. So India trailing by 1 point. I'm very interested in what Bhakti has done. Bhakti played, oh, 95 she played. She had to maybe find bishop g4 somehow. Somewhere bishop g4 had to come. Oh, Dark Knight has sent 100 USD. Dark Knight, that is very kind of you. Oh my god. I just hope that this is some kind of a good luck for Team India, Dark Knight, and India can make a comeback. If not in this match, then in the next one. Because you see, the Russian team, although very strong, is not impregnable. They are making mistakes. But right now, after takes knight d2, she went bishop g4, a move too late, rook a8, bd1. The thing is, your main pawn, which was the pawn on d2, has been lost. But what Bhakti is saying is that, look, your knight is hanging, and if you move the knight away, then your bishop would hang. Shiva Pratap, thank you for becoming pillar of Indian chess. So here, but the move that white has, which is very powerful, and let's see if Lagno finds, because rook d8 is very natural, and there the position is still complex. But what the good move here, guys, white to play? Can you find it? Yes, this is the move. This is the move. Anmol Srivastav, bishop b3 is the move. Very well spotted. You can't take on d2, d1 will hang. If you take on b3, then knight b3. Somehow the bishop knight, it's a very weird relationship between these two pieces, but it's working out. If it works, then it works. Yeah, so Bhakti in trouble. Harika, after rook c6, her opponent played b3, safeguarding her bishop, and Harika has to figure out. Shiva Pratap, who just became the member, says this is for your professionalism and apologizing in advance for the internet saga. Arey, Shiva Pratap, thank you so much. I feel really bad because I was very excited for the finals. In fact, the thing is, since morning we were trying to fix the internet with everyone in the house participating and making sure that this should work, because everyone here simply worships chess. They love chess. The entire family, Amruta's parents, brother. So we had the internet guy come over, then the LAN cable fixed and everything. But yeah, I mean, it didn't work out. So of course, I did the best I could, but it didn't work. The bishop a6 has been played now. I think e5 is the move here. Oh, that is the issue, guys. E5 may, the problem is that if you move the queen anywhere from the protection of this bishop, from this rook, then bam, bishop takes f7, king takes f7, and queen takes c6. So where do you move the queen? E6 is gone, d6 is gone because the pawn and bishop control. Queen g6 is one possible move, I think, here. But then queen takes g6, f takes g6. Oh, you can't take, right? Sorry, it's pinned. F bishop, rook takes g6, bishop a6, rook a6, and then rook d4. You are at least a pawn down. So I I get a feeling that Indians might just score half a point here. But also remember that the position is much more complicated. I mean, the games were much more complicated than what the scores will tell you. Okay, let's look at Bhakti's game. After bishop b3, Bhakti said that I will give you a check, king here, and I'll move my bishop away. No, this is not equal, guys. This is not equal. I know that the knight is hanging, but I think knight e4. She goes knight c4. Okay, interesting. Some chance. Can we take on c5? That looks okay. And Bhakti can tell her opponent that, look, after this position, I know you have a rook for my bishop, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawns. You have only 3. So it's bishop and 2 pawns for a rook. But rook c8 attacks the remaining pawn. So that means that's going to be some drawing chances definitely for Bhakti. Bhakti is fighting hard. Meanwhile, as we had mentioned, right, that this attack here for a human being, for a human, attack on the king is the scariest feeling. Okay, so that's why she went f4. Kashlinskaya said, now look, these are all holes that I can see in the position. Mary went king f2. Perhaps a good idea was knight e7, knight f5 to put more pressure here. But h3 releases the pressure in the position. And now queen takes a3. I think what Kashlinskaya wants to do is she wants to go queen b1. So that's why Mary plays bishop f1 to attack this pawn. Let's quickly see what... Oh, guys, Harika's opponent did not play it. My god, my god. She didn't play e5. She played queen d3, which is not a good move. Queen d3 is not a good move. Game is on, match is on. Bishop takes c4. ठीक है. Pawn takes c4. Bishop e5. a3. And this is the position. Man, what I like about this match is that the position, both teams are nervous. It's not just that the Indian girls are nervous, even the Russian girls making huge errors. You saw e5 for Goryachkina was not a tough move. Now take this pawn on c4. She's going to be at least equal. At least equal. And meanwhile, Mary and Gom's position is reviving. And Bhakti is okay. I mean, there are some hopes for Bhakti. There are some hopes. She will, because you see, opponent will win the c6 pawn. I think what Bhakti has to do is just calm herself down and be like, just focus. Focus at the task on hand. Bishop b6. Rook takes c6. And what I want to do is I want to push the pawn to e3. So, see, in chess, someone has an advantage if there is a weakness. And here, two weaknesses in black's camp are both defended by the bishops very well. But still, I mean, it's not easy, but Bhakti has chance. So if Bhakti can hold, and if Harika can hold, I mean, Harika somehow, if she manages to even... Right now, her position is pretty good. There is a small question for you guys. What happens on queen takes a7? how can black take advantage? Because this is a very natural move. Goryachkina is thinking, she has 2 minutes 28 seconds. She's thinking what to do. But I think the most natural move could be to take. But here, d3, adult anorak, you are right. d3, just push. And if rook d2 here, then you have bishop f4. And it works because after take on d3, take on d3, take on d3, rook c1 is a checkmate. The bishop controls the h2 square. So remember, there are problems. There are problems here for uh, Goryachkina, and she's thinking Harika has 1 minute 14 seconds. Lagno. Oh, we've been able to exchange a few pieces. I don't know if this bishop trade was in white's favor. It was in black's favor. I think it's in white's favor somehow. Bishop d3. That's why maybe bishop f5 was the correct idea, so that if bishop d3 you can push on e4, or you can go bishop e6 back. Yeah, this seems technically winning for white, but it's an effort. It's an effort. It's not like ऐसे you he winning. It's not just winning. It's an effort. Mary and Gomes. Wow, Mary's winning, guys. Mary has a great position. Bishop f1, queen f5, queen a3, e5, de, bishop e5. Mary gives a check. A very good idea for Mary could have been to take and play bishop e2, dominating the knight's squares so that it cannot move, and then use the c pawn to win the game. But she went queen a8 check, king h7. Now how do you continue? It's still a complicated position because the king is weak. Oh, she takes on c3 and she plays queen a6. So opposite colored bishops, and what Mary wants to do is put the bishop on e2 and then push her pawn. Guys, quite stressful. Let's look at Harika. Oh, Harika's opponent has made a mistake. Harika's opponent played queen a5. She thought she's winning LPDO. She thought bishop is attacked, rook is attacked, loose pieces. But Harika was like, no, nothing's attacked. I'm attacking your queen now. Do you want to take here? Then I will play d3. I think, oh, look at this variation, guys. Take on a7, d3, queen takes c7. Now, if you take here, then this, oh, queen takes c7, rook takes c7. What am I saying? That doesn't work, sorry. d3 is coming. Okay, so Harika better. Guys, Indian girls, and also Bhakti's position, she's fighting. Mary and Gomes, also better. Can it happen? Can it? I mean, I don't know. But there is a vague chance that India can win this match. Because Goryachkina is losing right now to Harika. She took, what did she do? She took on a7. Harika pushed d3. She played on a2. Harika played bishop b6. Queen a3. Okay. Guys, ये देखो, rook c2 पे जाते हैं. So that f2 is under pressure. And if he takes rook c2, I take d takes c2, and my pawn is on the 7th rank, about to queen. Guys, 1-0 is the score. 3 games going on. And the update is Harika is better. Bhakti has good chances of drawing this game. But, it's not easy. Like this move f4, I think botches it up. Because the move f4, what has done is that it has given a free hand to the king to move on light squares. So she should have kept it. She should have kept this position, maybe with a waiting move like bishop c7. So Bhakti may lose. Meanwhile, Mary and Gomes' position has also kind of deteriorated. She had to go bishop e2 here, but which is not easy to play because after queen c1, there is queen e1 check in the position. But then after queen d3 check, maybe let's say g6, she can go queen d1. This is how she could have defended herself very well and got winning chances. But the moment she came with the queen c1, bishop h3, now it seems like although she's 2 pawns up, black has enough counterplay. It's moving back and forth, this match. It's moving really back and forth. Meanwhile, Harika has moved in. Harika super solid. Goes rook c2, e5, bishop takes f2, boom, she takes a pawn, king h1, and now stress. 14, 13, 13, 12. Harika totally better. She plays her queen to b6. I think the thing about Harika is that she will manage this position. I feel Harika is really a class act here. She will manage this position. That would make the scores 1-1. But Bhakti is losing, and Mary, I mean, the Mary's game is going up and down, and I think she has some chances. Okay, now think about it. This pawn is hanging. So in your human brain, you're like, I want to save this pawn. Goes bishop c5, attacks the queen. Queen a4 comes in. Guys, in time pressure, it's very difficult. But queen g6 threatens a mate in one. Can we do that? Can we do that? Queen g6. Also, oh, she goes rook b2. Okay, that's fine. What about Lagno? Yeah, Lagno has played beautifully here. Got this pawn up. And in such positions, what generally happens is that after a6, rook b7, there comes a check, and then the king moves in, and you are not able to create any play with black pieces. Meanwhile, two pawns up, but you are losing a critical pawn here. Whoa, look at Marianne Gomes' fighting skills. No, she's like e4. If you give me a check, I'll go to h3. Now, from all of a sudden, we were thinking that it might be like three and a half. India has like a good chance of 2-2, but at least 1.5 looks realistic because Harika is better clearly. Okay, Harika goes bishop b4 and saves the pawn here on b2. And she offers a queen trade, which was declined. Queen e6. Queen e4. Okay, okay. How do we continue here? With just 15 seconds on clock, it's sometimes difficult to figure out how to win this. And now, I think she's forcing her to exchange the queens. No, but she goes queen g4, bishop c3. I love how Harika doesn't blunder, yeah? I mean, of course, chess is difficult, but already she has played so many moves without blundering. Bhakti's position, still bad for sure, but hanging on. And right now, pawn up for Mary, but with the opposite colored bishops. Doesn't look enticing. Like, just check here and bishop g1 already starts creating a lot of play. That doesn't work. Let's go to Harika's game. Harika's opponent after rook b4. She played rook b4 here, like rook f1, rook b4. Where will the she resigns? She resigned the game. She resigned because the queen was attacked and a1 was hanging. Guys, the scores have been leveled 1-1. Wow. Guys, this is what you all were talking about, right? Harika has to strike on the top board. This is exactly what she's done. She's done her job. Yeah, Bhakti is losing this pawn. Oh, opponent has now attacked this pawn. So this is more important than the h4 pawn, but both pawns are important. She goes bishop e7, at least trying to block. Okay, what about Mary and Gomes? Guys, can Mary win this somehow? I don't think. Queen e7, good move. Oh, but here bishop f7, queen f7, queen e5, check. Good. Look at this, guys. Bishop f7, queen e8, bishop e8. She goes queen c8. Okay. Mary knows that her game is critical for this match. She sees Bhakti. See, it's like 4 players in a row, right? So Mary is playing here. She quickly glances and understands, oh, Bhakti is losing. But she sees Harika has won. So she says 2-1 will be the score. So I have to win. So I can't exchange the queens. She plays f5. Yeah, it looks difficult to win this because mainly because the material that is left on the board is too little, and also the opposite colored bishops. But India has definitely given Russia a scare, and Harika beating Goryachkina with black pieces is a big result. I mean, it's a huge result. Update the score, but it's 1-1. No, I updated it. Isn't it 1-1? That's the score. I don't think Mary can win. Also, let's go to Bhakti's game. Is she still fighting? She is. She is. Bhakti has this ability to not give up. She lands in bad positions, but she's all the time like, what are my options? What are my resources? Can I go rook b7? There is also a possibility to give rook b6 check. A b6, a7, a8 queen. No, if Mary draws, it'll be not a draw. It'll India will lose because oh oh that I think that is queen h8. Nice move. Bishop f7. Okay. So what's happening here, guys, is opposite colored bishop position, and the problem is that maybe she should have continued king g2 to stop this, because after king g4 bg1, what has happened is that the moment you move your h pawn, she goes to f2, sacks on g3 and puts the king on h8. This you already know, right? This draw after bishop g3 king g3, you have the rook pawn, and whenever you have a rook pawn with a bishop, the queening square should be controlled by the bishop. If it cannot control, it ends in a draw if the opponent's king can sit on the queening square. Yeah, that's a draw. It's a wrong color square, and Kashlinskaya is like, I'll sit there on h8. Okay, so that I think I can comfortably put a draw here. One and a half to Russia, one and a half to India. Yeah, but the last game will all hinge on. Yeah, that's a draw. That's a draw. I think they will agree to a draw. So Bhakti's game is the crucial one. Yeah, she's lost the h4 pawn, and she's going to lose this. Good games, no guys? Good games. Good games for the Indian team. I think we showed that we have it in us to give, because to give the Russians a scare, because Mary was very close to beating Alina. So now I feel that with Bhakti losing, what the change in strategy will be, that Goryachkina, Harika will continue, I believe. Vaishali will play against Kosteniuk. That will also. Oh, Bhakti has resigned the game, and I think she was lost. So that's the right decision there. And Russia would win 2.5, 1.5. Although Mary is still fighting, I have already. Yeah, it's over. It's a draw. Mary also agreed to a draw here. Actually, she stalemated her opponent. Stalemate in chess, unfortunately, gives you no point more than half a point. That means that the match has ended in Russia's favor. It was a tough match. And I get a feeling, guys, what do you think? I think Bhakti will take rest in the next round, and Tania will come in. And Vaishali will continue against Kosteniuk. Tania will play against Lagno. And Mary will play against Shuvalova. They will also give rest to Kashlinskaya. This is my feeling. What do you think? Yes, Team India fought like lions. They were very close. In fact, Mary and Gomes is showing brilliant chess. But really, the game of the day was Harika playing beautifully. Vaishali was so close to actually equality. She was almost equal. But one move blunder, and Kosteniuk, of course, would not leave you after that. So one more match is at there at 8:30 p.m. Why didn't Humpy participate? Well, Humpy couldn't participate because of the she had taken co-vaccine vaccination, and that has some travel issues, and she couldn't get her visa. In fact, it was a big news today. Also on Twitter, there is a thing like ESPN has written an article on it, and Humpy says the vaccine which I took for traveling, co-vaccine, is the vaccine which is not allowing me to travel. It's such an irony there. Adiban in the chat. Hello, AD. When will Mary marry? The nation wants to know. I think after her performance in this event, she will she is going to get a lot of fans messages from fans because she's played so beautifully in this tournament. Mary and Gomes. Guys, what we will do is we will take a break now for an hour from 7:30 to 8:30, and then I will come back at 8:30 sharp. I think the internet will hold up pretty well, and then I'll come back. By the way, today my internet had issues, but you guys have been very kind, and you have been like, it's okay, it happens, and you have come back whenever it is. And of course, even on the Hindi channel, Niklesh is commentating. I think now that the internet is stable for almost an hour, last 1 hour it was stable. I think I will call Sham Sundar in the second game, so I didn't want him to come and then the internet goes down. And Sham Sundar is basically working with the team a lot throughout the event, and to get his insights would be really cool. So we'll get him as well here. um, and I will leave you guys with some music perhaps, so that um, yeah. Oh, Joy Datta, Sagar OP, thank you so much. uh Niklesh says Goryachkina. Yeah, I know Niklesh has many very interesting pronunciations of players. I enjoy them many times, listen to him. Rakshit Singh says reflect on team and owners of CSL before leaving. Have the teams been announced here? Have the teams been announced? I mean, I know the owners have been announced, but the teams haven't been announced, right? Oh, Adiban says, once again, sorry, Adiban, what did you say? I didn't check it. Matrimonial base India. Only owners have been, yeah. So right now the teams have not been announced, but the owners have been. I can tell you guys that the teams have been already sent to the players, so that they know the teams, and very soon we will be revealing the teams as well. But there are 6 teams that are a part of this, and maybe you guys can check it out. I can actually make this here on Instagram. Let's go here, Instagram, and Chess Super League. Sorry, there are 3 S's. Yeah, that's often so Chess Super League. Let me see if this works. Yep. Guys, please do like this page. I mean, follow this page for all the updates related to Chess Super League. It's something pretty huge that is happening in Indian chess, thanks to the efforts of Nodwin, Samai, and it's something really great to be a part of, where Chess Base India is also part of it. So there are 6 teams. Oh, 4 teams have been announced until now. First one is Tanmay Bhatt. Tanmay Bhatt's team of Kingslayers, Tanmay's Kingslayers, has been there, and anyone can guess who will be in Tanmay's team. In fact, this is a very interesting one. Tanmay has a very interesting super GM in his team. Then we have Biswa's Crazy Knights. Biswa always in his best pose there, like this. And Biswa so much interested in chess overall. It's great to see him owning a team because he would know what the grind is all about, and he would be like, it's like a celebrity, but also a very close follower of the game. That's what all those who would be in Biswa's team would. The owner would be always understanding of the blunders, I would say. Um, then you have Zakir. Zakir Khan has pivotal pawns as the team, and Zakir Khan is, of course, a big star. And Vidit has commented here. I was wondering why this post has so many comments. 220 IQ. Comment 3333666 times and we will drop the next one. Ooh, very interesting. Huh? This team of Chess Super League has some new ideas all the time in their mind to promote. And the next team is Mortals. Asset Souls Ruthless Rook. Mortal, guys, Mortal is a very amazing gamer who plays many types of different games. And how do you pronounce Etset Ul, or is it Soul? How do you say it? S.A. Rafi says, don't you think Samay also should have owned the team? No, it's like, there would be a conflict, right? Because Samay is the organizer, he cannot own the team. If you like 10k, guys, right now it has 8,000 posts. Then they will reveal the fifth team owner. That's what it says. How do you say soul only? Huh? S8UL? Soul. Soul plus 8. Letters. You spell the letters. Okay, some are saying you spell the letters S8UL, and some are saying you say soul. So I don't know, but I think S8UL. And the next team will be dropped when 10,000 people like it. I don't know how many people have already liked it for now. 8,067. So it's a long way off actually. You need another 2,000 likes. So right now, and I think the one more team which you already know is Raftar. Raftar is here. And then one more team is something which was announced by Samay on his stream, but was not announced in the article of ChessBase India because they were still in talks, but it has been confirmed. And Saina Nehwal does have a team, so that would be very cool. Um,
तू भाकरी खाणार आहेस?
yeah,
नाही. चालू नाही ना?
चालू आहे.
चालू आहे.
Yeah. S8OUL. Okay. S8OUL. Saina Nehwal is actually a very what is Anish's story? Anish has put a story, huh? It seems. Anish Giri. Anish Giri says bot army assemble. Ooh. Ish. Amir Khan should have one team. Yeah, maybe. Best comment I have ever heard says Adiban is Samay Raina plus Suhani equals Saina. No, no, but Sainan is actually Saina's going to be there owning a team, and it's a big thing because Saina has been a legend in Indian badminton, and she has, you know, changed the face of Indian badminton with her exploits. Of course, PV Sindhu is also an amazing player, but Saina was the first one to do it. Garvit Kalra says Anish and Tanmay perfect team. Yeah, yeah. What you got an Olympics winner and world number one player into chess. That's great, Vinita Chandra. Yeah, we are also very excited that Saina has agreed for it. By the way, many of the players who are playing here, like Kosteniuk, who was playing, is in one of the teams. Mary is playing in one of the teams. Tania is playing in one of the teams. Bhakti is playing in one of the teams. Harika is playing in one of the teams. So the only girl in the team who is not playing is Vaishali because she's playing an over the board event. So we were able to get the strongest team. Humpy is going to play in the men's section, which will be exciting. So 8,200 likes, 10,000, and they drop the next team. Uh, I think the rough, the way in which the teams have been allocated, the players have been allocated, the rough rating average of each team is around 25-20. That's how the teams are. So if you say a super GM is 2750 approximately, all of them, and the lowest rated player is 2200 approx, the girl player, the junior girl player, the rating average comes to around 25-20, and we've been able to make teams in a way that all teams are around equal strength. So there are some very strong players in each team, like let's say there is Hikaru in one team, then there is Gukesh in one team, then there is Raunak, then there is Vidit, then there is Fan. So every team has got like few elements that are strong, few elements that are, can be potential weaknesses. Yeah, next editions I think we'll also have an auction, and it'll be more exciting if this time it goes well. Copyright claim says Alexandra Botes playing in Chess Super League. She isn't playing, but we hope that she will be part of it in some way. We'll try to talk to her at some point, and maybe Levy would be part of it. Perhaps he would, maybe come to commentate, maybe do his recaps, which are very very well received. And there would also be Agad Mater who might do game analysis. So this event would be, I hope that would be well received by the chess community and also new people. The idea, many of you have been asking, what is the idea of having these owners in the team? It's like, for example, Mortal has many people following him. Maybe he can bring more people into chess. Zakir Khan has a huge following. In fact, when he puts up, some of his videos have millions of views, and maybe he can get his fans to start playing chess. Biswa, of course, has got his fans hooked onto it because of his love for chess. And also, Tanmay Bhatt has started playing chess, streaming chess. Maybe he gets them. So, the team's names over here are also interesting. There is Brutal Bishops, Crazy Knights, Pivotal Pawns, Quintessential Queens, and the Kingslayers, and Ruthless Rooks. Gurkirat says, I saw your podcast with Levi early morning. Really loved it. Glad to see your collab. Would love to see it happening more often. Thank you, Levi. I would also love to bring Levi on ChessBase India and do his evolution stream. We would manage to do it at some point. Ask Tania for commentary. Yeah, Daniel Naroditsky is of course a great commentator. This is Just Gaming says, Sagar, can you make a platform where people can invest money, like Dream 11 or something like that, right? Like fantasy league. If you can create your own fantasy teams, yeah, that's an interesting concept to work upon. Quintessential Queens will of course be owned by Saina because it's the name says it. But also the team would be exciting from that perspective, because it's like quintessential queens. The owner is a, but Saina is not the only owner. There's also one more person with her, and that, you guys, I think that would be a surprise for you guys. Okay, guys, I will take some break, have my dinner, and then we'll be back for the second match of the finals, because it's going to be very exciting. This finals here. India came close to beating Russia. In fact, at one point it did seem, no, we will beat Russia, but of course the Russian team, more experienced, managed to hang on there. So I'll go here and I'll say stream will resume at 8:30, and I'll put a nice music, maybe this one. I don't think you can hear it yet, the music, but you should be able to in a second.